ITA for letting my half-siblings hear that I don't want them to come to my mom's house with me. My 16M parents are divorced. My dad cheated on my mom, which is the reason why. I was 7 at the time. My dad ended up staying with the woman he cheated with, and they had 3 kids together in the space of 3 years. Then their mom decided to peace out and she left my dad with the 3 kids. She hasn't seen her kids or done anything for them since, but my dad does get child support for them, I think. Back when that all happened, my parents shared custody of me. I was at my dad's 1 week and my mom's the next. But when I was old enough in our state, 12 here, I went before a judge and asked if I could live with my mom primarily. The judge granted it but did order that I spend every other weekend with my dad, at least. After my dad's other woman left and was no longer a part of their kids' lives, Dad turned to Mom expecting her to step up and be part of their lives and to make sure I wasn't better off than them. But my mom never did. Sometimes I would hear Dad saying she should have my half-siblings over so they could see me more or so I could bond better with them at her house, because he knew I didn't see them as just siblings and he knew I didn't exactly love them. It wasn't hard to figure out because I really didn't show any interest in them. My dad wanted to change that and he wanted Mom to be part of it. I think Mom must have accused him of wanting me as a willing babysitter because Dad was super offended on the phone with her once and he said babysitting was the least of his concerns. He wanted all 4 of his kids to be close. Once I was only staying at his house every other weekend, my dad really piled on pressure for Mom to invite my half-siblings over to her house. Mom would do her best to keep it from me, but almost every time I'm at Dad's house he will text or call her about it and I hear him mumble about it or I hear him on the phone with her. He says the sibling relationship will stay distant if I hardly ever spend time with them. This whole thing is something I never really pushed back on. Dad has been worse with Mom and with me lately, and I was with him over a week ago and we got into a fight over it. He was like, your mom should have them over for Halloween weekend because they'd love to see you and to dress up for you to see it, and then he was like, tell your mom you want to have them come over, and I said no. He pushed and pushed and my half-siblings were close enough to hear. That's when I said I don't want them to come over to Mom's. I never wanted them to come over. I told Dad I wouldn't care if I never saw them again. Dad yelled at me and then I yelled back. It was only after a few minutes we realized the kids heard because they had started to cry. Dad told me I should be ashamed for saying what I did where they could hear. He texted me all through last week about it as well and told me he was ashamed of my behavior.